What do football traders do when the Premier League football season ends? Do they keep trading football, or is that it until August? In this video, we're going to be looking at how to trade football during the summer, just which football and which leagues to trade. Go grab yourself a nice cold beer or an iced tea and let's get into it. So as you probably know, the main football season runs from August through to May. And so the main question I kind of get when we approach April and May is, what do football traders do during the months of June and during the months of July? Because obviously the main season is not running during then, and then it's going to start again in August. And there is a bit of a misunderstanding that football trading is only about the Premier League, but I promise you, there is much more to life than the Premier League when it comes to football trading. And football, it really is an all year round sport. And you don't actually have to take the summer off if you don't want to. When the Premier League stops, there are still plenty of excellent leagues to trade. And some might argue that these leagues are easier to find an edge in compared to the top level leagues. So many people concentrate on the Premier League, and you are competing with a lot of people on Premier League matches, but in the smaller, lower level leagues, not so much competition, potentially more chance for you to get an edge. And I'm going to show you some of the leagues I like to trade during the summer in this video coming up right now. But before we get into that, if this video does help you in any sort of way, do not forget to click the like button. In fact, click the like button right now. It really helps out the channel, and it also helps you to get more trading videos just like this suggested to you in your feed, so we both win. Okay, click the like button and let's move on. So primarily when we get to the summertime with football trading, we usually have a tournament to trade. Primarily during the month of June, there are tournaments every summer, with the big ones such as the World Cup and the Euros going to be every second summer. So every 2 years you're going to get a major tournament to trade, and every second year there are some other tournaments to trade, which usually could be along the lines of the Copa America. If you remember 2019, the Women's World Cup was actually a pretty fun tournament to trade, for those who remember that. And there is also some under 21 tournaments, so there's usually some pretty good tournaments to trade during the month of June. So June is usually still a pretty busy month for football traders, no matter what. It is more the month of July to think about, but just keep in mind that when you are trading tournaments, they are quite different from trading domestic leagues. It's almost a different skill set, because remember, recent form statistics not so relevant in tournaments. You really have to trade based on what you can see in the actual tournament and based on the actual tournament form, which in the first few matches is going to be absolutely zero. So you have to keep that in mind when you're trading tournaments. But remember, a lot of these tournaments do have such great liquidity. They can be some of the best markets to trade in football. You just have to tweak your approach a little bit more. I think we will be covering how to trade tournaments in a little bit more detail on this channel as we approach the tournament that we have this summer, Euro 2020 or Euro 2021, not sure what it's called anymore. But this summer, if you were worried that there wasn't going to be enough football to trade, well, you got the Euro 2021, and I do believe there's going to be a Copa America last time I checked, but who knows these days? Who knows? You really have to play it by ear. But if you're not trading a tournament, and really now we are looking to that month of July, what is there to fill that month of July? You've got these leagues which are pretty good: Sweden, MLS, Finland, Norway, and the J League. Okay, so these are the ones which I kind of look at myself, okay, if I'm looking to trade football during July. MLS especially, J League, one of my favorites, and the Swedish league is pretty good, because I often find the teams are pretty consistent to their statistics, and because the stats have been building up since, I believe, March, by the time we get to May, June, July, the stats are pretty consistent and makes it a lot easier to trade. MLS is a bit of a wild one when it comes to trying to look at recent form. MLS, I would almost suggest trading that like it was a tournament. But similar to Sweden, with Finland, Norway, and the J League as well. These can be some pretty good leagues to trade. And those are the main ones I look at. I haven't covered them all. I didn't cover, say, the Chinese Super League, the Korean League. I haven't really touched any of those. I think there's the Irish League that some people like to get involved in as well. But Anyway, you tell me in the comments, leave a comment and let me know below which summer leagues do you trade, if you do trade any leagues during the summer. Which ones have you found your edge in? Like I said, for me, my favorite ones, MLS, the J League, amongst others. But yeah, which ones do you like? I forgot to mention Norway as well. That was on that list. Lots and lots of goals in Norway. So it can be a pretty fun league to trade there as well. But you let me know in the comments which summer leagues interest you the most. And I'm going to get into more detail about which leagues you should be trading and maybe which leagues you should avoid trading during the summer, depending on your football trading style in just a moment. But if you haven't done this already, make sure you do this ASAP. This is the free football trading strategy session. This is not available on YouTube. You have to click the link in the description to be able to check it out. Okay, you get a sneak peek at all the best football trading strategies that are working for me at the moment, alongside real life demonstrations, including of those trades you can see on the screen right now. It's absolutely free to check it out. I urge you to check it out ASAP before we take it down and give away something else in its place. It might not be as good as this, because this is really, really good. Definitely worth checking out. So we're on soccerstats.com and we're going to take a closer look at some of these summer leagues that I've suggested that you check out, just to get an idea of whether these are leagues that you personally would like to trade and whether these can fit your own trading style. Because it's one thing me suggesting that you should be trading these leagues. In reality, they might not fit your trading style. Okay, so let's have a closer look. And this is the Swedish league. And I do think this is a good league to trade. It's on usually on a good time as well. It's usually on in the early evening. So it kind of fits with the regular football trading schedule. It's not anything too crazy. And this is the Swedish league. Now, one thing which I've always found confusing with a lot of people is they seem to think that the Swedish league is boring, slow, not that many goals. But looking at the stats for last season in the Swedish league, averaged 2.81 goals. Okay. And if we just compare that to the Premier League, you can see the Premier League this season averaged 2.68 goals a game. So the Swedish league is it can be pretty good. It is well, there's definitely a good amount of goals in it, which is what we're generally looking for as football traders. But a lot of people kind of, look down upon it and say, well, yes, it's a bit of a boring league, slow league, but the data suggests differently. Okay, so Swedish league, definitely one to check out. One you might be interested in as well is the MLS. So this is probably more for the late nighters. And again, there is a misunderstanding where a lot of people say, oh, MLS, oh, that's on at like 1 a.m., 3 a.m., all that sort of thing. Not quite true. Yes, there are some matches, but the matches on the East Coast can be on at more reasonable times, like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And there are some, well, it's a high goal average again, okay? 3 goals a game, or the average on the MLS. The markets kind of know that in the MLS. So it's not like the markets haven't adjusted to this. That's one thing to keep in mind. So it is a high goal scoring league. But one thing I've kind of found with the MLS is that the markets are always expecting goals, but they don't usually have that much of a clue of who should be a favorite. And one thing I said with trading the MLS, a little trick, is to not look at the match odds. Watch the match itself, watch like 20 minutes of it, and then just based on what you're seeing, decide who is the favorite. Then have a look at the match odds, and you can often be very much surprised. I was trading an Inter Miami match last week, which kicked off around 9 o'clock or something like that. I didn't look at the odds, but the away team, can't remember who they were playing, were absolutely dominant. And I expected that the odds on the away team, I thought they would be odds on and something like a 1.25 shot or something like that. But when I actually looked at the odds, Inter Miami were 1.6 favorites, and the underdog, who was absolutely dominating the match, were about a 4.8 shot. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunities if you like to trade what you can see in the MLS, for sure. Okay, you have to pay attention to it. The stats in the MLS are a little bit all over the place, so tread carefully there, and only really trade the MLS if you can watch it. And the live pictures, very easy to find inside Betfair live video, so there's no excuses about that. It's same for the Swedish league as well. Moving on, you got the Finnish league, which is usually on an interesting time. It's usually on like the early afternoon. Okay, so this can be good if you're a full timer, as it is. Then it can be good to trade this in the afternoon. 2.8 goals a match. So that's kind of interesting, because a bit of a misunderstanding about the Finnish league is that there's loads of goals. It's just full of goals, crazy goals. When it is a high goal scoring league, but not that crazy. The MLS has more goals if you're just looking at the goals per match there. Okay, there was definitely a time when the Finnish league was crazy, and you were seeing scores like 5-4, or on an often basis, but maybe not so much today. But yeah, Finnish league could be one to check out in the early afternoon. We've also got the J League, which a lot of people do like, and that's usually, Wednesday mornings, is it? Or like Wednesday early afternoon. Early afternoon on Wednesdays. Let me just scroll down and check out the goal average in the J League. 2.45, so it's a little bit lower than the Premier League, but again, it's easy to find the live pictures inside Betfair. Really good liquidity on the J League very often. So it is a decent league to trade, and I have definitely found in my experience that the stats are reliable, to say, especially compared to the MLS anyway. The MLS, you kind of do pre-match research on the MLS, and it's almost random, okay? But something like the J League, the stats are a little bit more consistent, okay? Moving on, we've got the Norwegian League, full of goals, or is it? Let's have a look. Yeah, it is. 3.16 in the Norwegian League. And that's a really good league for goals. If you are someone who likes to trade goals, definitely check out the Norwegian League. That league really is full of fun. And you can get a lot of late goals as well. So the Norwegian League is definitely a good one. It's kind of on around the same time as the Swedish one. So you can kind of trade a block of matches as well. So definitely look out for Norway. You usually got some good liquidity in Norway as well. Another one which is more recent that has popped up, I haven't really got involved in that much myself. It is the South Korean League. Let's have a look at the goal average. So quite a low goal average. So if you are someone who is the opposite and maybe likes to scalp or likes to trade unders, maybe the South Korean League is for you. I haven't really got involved too much with this, but I have seen some people doing well with the South Korean League on social media. And again, the live pictures are usually available on Betfair Live Video. And I always say, if you can get some stats, some live pictures, and some good liquidity, then it's very, very tradable. So do keep that in mind. But the South Korean League, that's another good option. I think that's usually on early afternoon, around the same time as the J League as well. So you could probably trade a few matches from that at the same time. So we're not done yet, but hopefully this gives you a very good idea of how to approach football trading during the summertime. But you do have other options, and I want to remind you of these as also, because you can move over and focus and trade on other sports. For me, I usually like to really focus on tennis during the summertime, and during that month of July, normally don't really touch any football and just focus purely on tennis trading, especially during that month of July, starting in June anyway, depending on the tournament. I didn't quite get to do that in July 2020 because of the project restart, and I was actually trading the football during July, which was a really crazy month. But hopefully this year we're getting back to normal, and I will be resuming that during the month of July. You usually have Wimbledon and a lot of other good tennis tournaments, but it doesn't have to be tennis. It could be another sport that you like to trade or that you want to learn. This could be a good time to do it, whether it's the horse racing during the day or the evening, or the cricket trading, or so on. But on that note, you could also focus elsewhere. I always stress that football trading should be one of your many income streams. Do not go all in on football trading, okay? The average millionaire has 7 income streams. So football trading just on its own is not going to cut it. So ideally, and I've got a lot of members inside my community who treat it exactly like this, and football trading is one of their many income streams. And during the summer, when the season ends, that's the time for them to just focus elsewhere on one of their other businesses or one of their other income streams, whether it's a online business or maybe some sort of property business or whatever they have. But this is usually a good time to really focus elsewhere and then be ready for when the football season begins again in August or September. I think myself, definitely during the summer, that will be the perfect time for me to concentrate more on the cryptocurrency trading rather than the football trading during that month of June and July. It'll be a very nice break to focus on that. So yeah, focus elsewhere. And I always stress this. Yes, the channel is Sports Trading Life, but you should be having income streams in all sorts of niches, okay? All sorts of niches and industries. Spread your risk. Do not keep all your eggs in one basket. And the other option, and it's crazy that no one has even mentioned this to me about football trading during the summer. Take a break. Why not go on holiday? Why not just relax? Completely recharge your batteries. I mean, completely shut off from everything, okay? Because, and I've spoken about this via email to some of my members. I say that if you trade in football wall to wall without any sort of break, you're going to be burned out. And you usually feel that burnout around April or May, because the football is wall to wall during the season. It's almost non-stop, but especially with the season that we've just had, absolutely non-stop. And I've spoken with some full-time traders who just very recently, who've just kind of told them they're feeling the burnout, because it has been an absolutely crazy season with no break since we had Project Restart in June 2020. It's been literally non-stop. So yeah, take a break. It's absolutely needed. You need to just take a break away from the markets, and you will feel the effects. Okay, if you even take that whole month of July off from the football markets, you're ready and firing to go once August arrives, or September if you want to wait till then to start getting involved again. Trust me. But if you don't take a break, you're gonna get burned out somewhere along the line. So it's very, very important for your mental health. So I hope you've enjoyed this slightly different video from the norm. I know we didn't cover any strategies in this video, so if that is what you're looking for and you want to learn about the best football trading strategies at the moment, make sure to check out the free football trading strategy session. I did mention it earlier on. Click the link in the description. It's not available on YouTube, so you have to click the link in the description, head over there, put in your email address, and then you can check it out if you are looking for some football trading strategies, okay? But if you are looking for more videos on YouTube just to check out, then I've got two really, really good videos on the screen for you to check out. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well if you want to learn and discover all the new videos as soon as they come out. But anyway, check out this video here, and then I'll see you in the next video.